comes on stage, and yourselves as well. Just a little more energy, a little more life. Another round of applause for Mwangaza. Thank you. I heard a woo from somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but yes, please, more of that. I am just here to ask if you can hear my voice and you are in the exhibition booth area or you are outside the main hall. We are kindly asking you to urgently return to the main room where we are going to have our plenary and closing ceremony so that we can get started with that. So if you can hear my voice and you're still outside, we do want to begin our incredible awards and closing ceremony where we'll also be awarding the National Outstanding Researcher Awards, NORA. So we want to begin that immediately. If you can hear me and you are outside, or you're with a team member, or you're in the exhibition booth area, ushers as well, I'm going to ask all of you to help guide our audience and our attendees and delegates from the T area into the main hall so that we can get started immediately. Thank you very much. I'm going to give it back to Mwangaza. I don't know if you have a song that just says, hurry up, come back inside. Hurry up, come back inside. That's the one I want us to play now. Thank you.
Sina dada, uko wapi? Nakutafuta sikuoni, nimejaribu sana kukutafuta, na kila nifikapo sikuoni, lakini kwa bahati umenikumbuka, kwani barua uliyoituma nimeipata. Sasa nakuomba unieleze siku ambayo utafika. Sasa nakuomba unieleze siku ambayo utafika. Sina dada, uko wapi? Nakutafuta sikuoni, nimejaribu sana kukutafuta, na kila nifikapo sikuoni, lakini kwa bahati umenikumbuka, kwani barua uliyoituma nimeipata. Sasa nakuomba unieleze siku ambayo utafika. Sasa nakuomba unieleze siku ambayo utafika. Siku gani dada utafika? Nikungoje sitesheni, ningekuwa na uwezo ningekutumia nauli ya ndege ili ufike haraka. Nimekukosa mama, nimekukosa siku nyingi, nimekukosa mama, nimekukosa siku nyingi. Siku gani dada utafika? Nikungoje sitesheni, ningekuwa na uwezo ningekutumia nauli ya ndege ili ufike haraka. Nimekukosa mama, nimekukosa siku nyingi, nimekukosa mama, nimekukosa siku nyingi.
Another round of applause for Mwangaza. Fantastic, thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, we are due to start shortly. Again, I ask if you are in the exhibition area and you need to be here, please make your way here. So afterwards we give them all free food. And then are we giving money to all of them as well? Everybody's going to get something. Okay. Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, for those of us who are in the hall at the moment, I'm just going to ask us if we can, and please forgive me for this, if we can all just rise to our feet for a moment. If we can all rise to our feet. All of us, please get to our feet. Please indulge me, and I apologize for making you do these requests. Okay, now, as we are standing, I want us all to look ahead of us very keenly. Look in front of you, not at me necessarily, directly in front of you. Do you see an empty seat in front of you? Okay, great. If you see an empty seat in front of you, my kind request is that we fill the seats to the front first, and we try and at least fill this row as well. So where I'm pointing, please make your way to the front. We don't want you to hide at the back. We really do, because again, people will be coming in late. Some of our students might come in late, and we want it easy for people to join in. So please make your way to the front. Let's fill our seats in front, and then we can have a nice, well-filled hall. Multiple reasons for this. One, we want to make space for those who might be coming in late. And two, when we're taking photographs, we want it to look like everybody was in one place, not scattered around. Thank you very much for indulging me in that request. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to ask our ushers in the hall, as people come in to take their seats, if we can encourage them to fill out the seat in front and ensure that we do not have multiple empty seats at the head of our room. Thank you very much. We are due to start shortly. I think we're going to do one last song, hopefully, from Mwangaza. But before that, because this is the capstone. Right now and in the afternoon, we have two closing and award ceremonies that are really going to be the climax of this inaugural Kenya National Research Festival. So we want to be as excited as possible. Okay, and I know you'll hate me for this because I've been telling you to clap and scream. Some of you have lost your voices, but I'm asking politely one last time, just for today. In fact, the next event you go to, don't even clap. Tell them you clapped enough for 3 events when you were here. But just for today, to acknowledge, one, yourselves for being here with us from the start, from day one to today, 5 long, intense, full of learning days, and also for the awards that we are going to be giving out, all the winners and everybody who participated and who applied but may not have won, for all the speakers who will be giving the awards and speaking to us, for all the judges, for the NRF team, for the sound team that has done and audio-visual team that have done a great job. Every session I've had, this is where we really give them that round of applause that they will remember. This is being live streamed. It's going to be live streamed on YouTube, and sometimes when we're doing that, the sound is not picked up well from the audience. But I really want us to ensure that today, when they're watching YouTube, they feel as though they are here with us. We're privileged, so we can extend that privilege to all of them. So for one, well, not the last time today, but for the first time today, can we just give a round of applause and see where we are on noise levels? A round of applause for the Kenya National Research Festival. Okay, now that's good. That's actually a very good start. Like we've started here, I want us to go there. All right, I want us to go even higher. Feel free. I know we don't have as many young scientists in the audience right now. They should be coming in a little later. And they're the ones who are very happy shouting, woo, woo, woo. We have an audience full of professors and doctors. I know that's not what you do in your normal day-to-day work, but I'm going to ask today to make an exception for all the outstanding research, the young and old, one and all of us. Again, vocalize your round of applause, and let's do that as we go along throughout the closing ceremonies and award ceremonies. A round of applause for the Kenya National Research Festival. Excellent. I am grateful. I will work with that, although I'll still keep reminding you to keep it loud as we go along, but I can work with that. All right, so again, before I give it back to Mwangaza from KU, the fantastic band that have kept us entertained, I am going to make one final call for those of us who are outside, for those of us who may still be having tea. If you are already in the hall and your friend, your colleague, your neighbor is still outside having tea, use this little last song that we have to give them a text, to call them, tell them, hey, we're about to start the closing and award ceremony for the Kenya National Research Festival, the inaugural Kenya National Research Festival, right? Take that time to do that with a song. Take the time to tweet as well. You'll remember our tweets and our hashtags. And if you remember, it was at NRF Kenya, at YST Kenya, hashtag KNRF 2024, hashtag YSK 2024. So, we're going to show something on screen as well while the song is being played, and we wait for the last few people to come in. And this is something that NRF, the National Research Fund, has initiated and launched. It's an exciting research repository courtesy of the British Council. So when you look at the screen in a moment, we're going to show a QR code. Oh, it's already there behind me. Oh, right. So if you're looking at me on screen, that means it's like that. Please scan that. And find exciting research work from different researchers and research institutions. A fantastic repository, courtesy of the British Council and NRF. Again, use this time to go, scan, get online, bookmark it, tweet, tell your friends and family and colleagues and enemies, tell them that there's a fantastic repository, tell them that you're at the award ceremony, tell them that you're here at the closing, and we're going to start in the next few minutes. Over to you, Mwangaza.
tuliokosana, hayo ni makosa ya nyumbani. Vizuri unirudie Angelike, makosa tuliokosana, hayo ni makosa ya nyumbani. Ewe mama, ninalia Angelike, Angelike tuonane, roho yangu inanisumbua. Ninalia Angelike, Angelike tuonane, roho yangu inanisumbua.
Round of applause for Mwangaza. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling? Are we feeling good? No, I can't hear. We need to know, because I know, maybe, are we nervous? How many of our researchers here with all your PhDs and masters and doctorates, how many of us are feeling nervous about whether you're receiving an award today or not? Hands in the air. Okay. So I'll do an exercise as we go along just to help us ease the nerves. However, I believe we have all our guests in the room. So I'm going to kindly ask, because this is the official closing, if we can all rise to our feet for the Kenya National Anthem and the East African Anthem as well.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
We may take our seats. Our chief guest, Mr. Frederick Ndambuki, representing the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Education, the Chair of the NRF Board and all board members present, CEO, NRF, National Research Fund, Vice Chancellors and the heads of state agencies, all our academics and researchers, our teachers, our students, and all present, good morning. Welcome to the awards and closing ceremony for the inaugural Kenya National Research Festival 2024. My name is Karaganya. I'll be speaking very briefly as we guide ourselves through the closing ceremony. It's a day to celebrate the fantastic work that all our researchers in Kenya are doing. We will, of course, hear a few remarks and hand out the NORA Awards. And NORA it's an initiative that has been launched by the National Research Fund. And what the NORA Awards do is they seek to celebrate achievements of Kenyan researchers, spur economic transformation through cutting-edge research and increase interest in research, careers, opportunities for the young generation. So we have multiple awards that we'll be giving out in recognition of the fantastic work that has happened. We'll also have people who have more knowledge about the NORA Awards coming to tell us a little bit more about them and hand that out. But I would just like to mention some of the awards that you can expect to receive. We have the best poster presentation for the festival, so we'll be awarding some of the best posters that we had seen. We have multiple special recognition awards, including the Young Researcher Award, the Tibet Research Award, Person with Disability Research Award. We have the Women Research Award, and then we'll capstone and end with a National Outstanding Researcher as well as a Lifetime Researcher Award. So we are going to really acknowledge many of you today. It's going to be a fantastic day. Can we give a round of applause just to get us in the mood? All right. Now earlier, our chief guest, CEO and chair, I'd asked the audience if they were nervous, and they said they were, with their many PhDs and their master's degrees and their fantastic work that they're doing. So before I invite our CEO, to give a few remarks and get us started. I wanted us to take 30 seconds and to laugh, okay? It's been proven that this actually eases the nerves. All right, so we're just going to take 30 seconds. I'm going to time it in a moment, and please laugh as loud as you can. Just laugh. There may be nothing funny in front of, just laugh. As you laugh, you'll start to ease the tension, okay? Are we ready? A bit louder, are we ready? One more time, are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so, and I'm gonna laugh with you, in case you're struggling to find something funny. Is the camera on my face? Okay. All right. No spinach in my teeth, because that would be embarrassing if I, all right, there we go. All right, are we ready? Okay, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Keep laughing. Don't let it laugh. Ease the tension. Do we feel a bit better? A bit louder. Do we feel a bit better? You see, even the yes is louder than it was before. Thank you very much for complying with my very strange request. I do appreciate your support in that. Without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, because we do want to get started, and I know you're eager to hear from some of our speakers and also see what the awards will look like, please help me welcome back a man who is no stranger to any of us in the room and to anybody who wants to do anything around research, concerted, sustainable, and focused research in Kenya, the man who heads the National Research Fund. Please put your hands together one more time for Professor Dickson Andala, the CEO for the National Research Fund, to give us a few welcoming remarks and get us started. Keep the applause going until he gets here. Until he gets here, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Karibu, Prof.
Our chief guest, who is Mr. Ndambuki, ably representing the CS Ministry of Education, as well as the PS State Department for Higher Education and Research. Allow me also to recognize our Vice Chancellors who are in the House, our CEOs, directors, principals, researchers, as well as students. Students are listening to us from the other ballrooms. We've got live screens, and we also have those who are online. We are streaming online. I guess it's still good morning. For me, it's a great pleasure and a great honor for having you here to celebrate with us the successful conclusion of the Kenya National Research Festival. It is first of its kind, and I'm delighted the reception we've received, the feedback we've received. We are roaring to go. We'll be doing this event at least annually, and I'll be giving probably the feedback that we've gotten from you. This festival has served as a dynamic platform to showcase Kenya's research endeavors and to outline future plans, to as well recognize those who've done, who have acquired or received major milestones in matters research. It has also facilitated networking and building of partnerships. And particularly, I'm proud around the area of diversity and inclusivity witnessed throughout this event. And this clearly reflects NRF's commitment to engaging all sectors of the society. Allow me to recognize the Kenyatta University Band, of which has been very, very engaging and more so in matters entertaining. When I reached out to the Vice Chancellor of Kenyatta University, it was a little bit in tight of terms of time, and she agreed to be able to bring the band. And I'll wish you a clap for the band. And more specifically, I'm delighted for them having included people with disabilities, and they've really, really done a wonderful job. And we look forward in all our future events, we will be inviting them to all the, in this case, celebrations that we will be hosting. I was happy to learn that one of them is was an alumni of the YSK. And kindly, can we clap for him? Can you raise up your hands, the YSK alumni? Oh, he stepped out. Oh, okay, fine. So, Chief Guest, I want to take you through what were the goals and what we've achieved. So, our specific goals for this event was to engage the public, to promote science communication, and better understand research. And given the speech from our head of public service, it was clear the nation does not understand what research is all about. The other key specific objective was to inspire the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and researchers. The other key objective was to recognize excellence by acknowledging outstanding research contributions. Next was to advocate for increased research funding. And Bwana Ndambuki, it has been a clarion call. We need more funding. There was a topic here of which was resonating well, that there is the trickle-down effect, that is from the global north to the south, is somehow has strings attached. So we need to bake our own cake, and it was clearly demonstrated. The other key objective was to promote collaboration across disciplines. Key of which I'm passionate about was to highlight societal impact of research, and we collected over 60 research outputs, of which the MCDAs, that is the ministries, counties, departments, and all the other agencies can uptake to the next level to create jobs through value-added products that have been on display. And finally, to create sustainable network to advance research and innovation in Kenya. I will maybe highlight the key achievements of this festival. One, we've promoted effective science communication between individual scientists and organizations, and this is a moving target of which we'll endeavor to continually communicate science in a language understandable by the young, the old, and those who are semi-literate. The other achievement we've received is robust engagement with young scientists, offering them a platform to discover and contribute to the ongoing research. Another milestone is the recognition of excellence through the NORA Awards, which is about to happen. And then finally, we've facilitated valuable networking opportunities, and one of which was the gala dinner, where our chair had to show us how he used to dance when he was young. Kindly clap for my chair. We have now way forward, of which I'm going to present. Kindly, I hope they are moving. So I've already done the acknowledgements, and they'll be rolling on the screen. We've, all those have been our partners, and I'd wish to recognized the UK ID, the Embassy of Ireland, of course, African Population Health Research, NACOSTI, IMS, and all the universities that have been represented here. When I reached out to the universities, it was a tall order, and most of them were complaining or alluding that they do not have funding to personally call out some of the vice chancellors. And I'm glad one of them is in the house, the one from the University of Nairobi. She is a great supporter of RSTI. Kindly clap for her. So reflections from the past 3 days. One, the value and importance of open science. This was on the first day. We took through our participants the value and importance of open science, practices for scholarly publishing to make research outputs discoverable and accessible to the benefit of the public and for equity and fairness. What has been happening is for most of our universities, we've been asked or we've been required to pay to access. But through open science, we can be able to access research outputs across the world. Number two, we had to engage our students because we've been talking about the Sustainable Development Goals. And these Sustainable Development Goals, we are, I think, 6 years shy. They are meant to be achieved in 2030. So we were deliberate. We need to inform them that now you're the next generation. Kindly carry forward the dreams that we have on SDGs. And we were amazed at their outputs. The other thing that we did at this festival, we had our chief guest, who was then head of public service, alongside our permanent secretaries, vice chancellors, walking around the booths, and they recognized the importance of uptaking research outputs to the market, and we were categorically told that whatever you are doing within your lab, if it doesn't get out there, you are speaking to yourself. And for that reason, we were told that in the next meeting, we need to have our MCAs in the house. I know when they're in the house, they want to talk more than us who are the researchers, but we'll allow them space so that they can be able to speak more onto what we do. The other outcome is the importance of leveraging data analytics and emerging technologies in our research to help solve challenges in health, agriculture, climate change, among others. And there was a question on how AI comes in, and this is very, very clear here that we need to leverage on AI. Similarly, the other thing that was very, very clear was we have our research institutions, stroke organizations. We had a privilege of engaging CALDRO to know their mandate and what they've done for this nation, because the complaint has been they've got research outputs of which the farmers are not uptaking. And I call upon the universities. I remember when I was growing up, we got extension officers who are not there. The extension officers we need to have are the universities and TVET colleges. The other insights from this meeting is the science of, the art of science communication. It was clear that when we communicate, I am a chemist, and there are some compounds whose names are very difficult even for myself to remember. Now, what of somebody who stopped at Form 4? I know, Prof. Jagani, you have some of those names, yeah, as a chemist, yeah? So if you throw those names, they'll think, even if it is probably an edible fruit, the compound is come from an edible fruit, they may think it's a very toxic chemical, but we need to simplify the communication. And it came out very clearly during COVID when science communication was put to test. And people were able to understand what is RNA when you are going to be tested before you travel. The other thing that came out from this, and it was also specifically emphasized by the head of public service, is to involve all stakeholders. And the reason why we made this a festival, initially my staff wanted this to be a conference. But a conference is not engaging, it's one way. So we had to make this a festival so that it's interactive. So we bring on board the young and the seasoned researchers, as well as the public, to be able to engage. And I'm happy there's one lady from Nakuru. She's a scientist without formal education, and she keeps records of all her herbs or traditional medicine. And I'll wish you buy some. She gave me, she looked at me and she knows the diseases I'm suffering from. So I have samples to try at home. Similarly, my chair was also given. He was told the hair will turn black after consuming. The other thing that I also wish to indicate that came across is teamwork and inclusivity. We need to see women, youth, people with disabilities at the table, at the forefront, speaking science. Among the lessons learned, which is very, very clear, is when I was growing up, I used to visit Kari those days, and there was glory with Kalro, because you could feel there are those who used to treat our cattle at home or domestic animals, right from the chicken all the way to the cows. I no longer see them, and in fact, all those who were they are called veterinary medicine. Actually, they gave up their calling, and I'm also seeing our medical doctors want to give up their calling. I ask them, please, research pays. Become researchers, and through your knowledge, you can be able to deliver for this nation. The other thing that we need to do as researchers, let's use research to drive policy. And if we drive policy, the government will allocate resources to NRF and all our research institutions. It is said, if you are not on the table, you are a menu. So we've been a menu for quite a long time, and we've been nibbled. We had a huge budget for research, but it's been nibbled. We only have a tenth left, and if we are not going to be on the table, we'll have zero. The other lesson learned is science diplomacy. We need to engage our journalists. I know journalists currently, they have also become money-minded, and scientists and researchers, they indicate that we are not jovial at giving money. So I encourage scientists, instead of taking all your money meant for research, leave something aside for the journalists so that they can also blow your horn. The other thing that came out of this meeting is research to commercialization. And I challenge the private sector, in this case, the researchers. The private sector will not come to you. You need to go to them, identify their problems, and co-create solutions. And that is one way we can be able to benefit from our knowledge in science or STEM. Finally, and it also been mentioned today during plenary, we need to undertake research capacity strengthening. And this has to start at individual level. Individual level, if you are a family person, if you have got small children, let them learn to love science. And we've got here Mr. Fan or Dr. Fan. Are you around? Dr. Ken Monjero. He's doing a marvelous job in terms of promoting loving for STI. That is at individual level. Let's start it within the family, and then we go to institutional, and it has also been emphasized. A lady from Maseno, she indicated that she attracted grants and they were swallowed to pay salaries. We do not want to hear that anymore. And then the ecosystem. Now the ecosystem is everyone who's in the house. We need to work together to ensure that we are collaborating and not working in silos. Way forward, still, we need to continue this conversation. And among the key things that we need to explore from our plenary speaker today is exploring innovative financial models for us to be able to support research and the innovation ecosystem. Then finally, we are dedicated to serving communities in the next couple of years. That is what I've now learned from this exercise. We've been serving Nairobi, and what I've realized, the food doesn't, Nairobi, there's no farms in Nairobi. So next time we are going to go to the counties. We will not have the festival being held at the Edge or at KICC. We are going to go to the rural areas. That's where the taxpayers and the food comes from. So in the next couple of years, this is my plan. Number one, we are going in 2025, which is next year, we are coming to Njoro. And Njoro, I know there is Egerton University and there is Calro and the entire ecosystem. So I look forward to seeing you in Njoro next year. I know the Vice Chancellor of Egerton or the DG Calro will be ready to host us free of charge. National Research Fund will ship all those who are fanatics in matters agriculture and food security to Njoro for 3 days. In 2026, we are looking at natural resources and blue economy, and we are headed to Mombasa. That's where we have major resources and the blue economy sits. Then from there, in 2027, we are looking at climate change and sustainability, and we are going to the Asal region, which is Samburu. I know there are national parks there, and you'll enjoy the serenity of Samburu. And then in 2028, we are looking at digital and circular economy. I know Dedan Kimathi University of Science and Technology, they have an industrial park dedicated to circular economy and the digital and circular economy. We are all very. And at the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each and every one of you for sparing your time to attend this very important function. Pass the word around. NRF is for sustainable development through research, and I look forward to engaging you personally and with my staff. If they are in the house, kindly stand up for you to be applauded. NRF staff. I would also wish to thank the volunteers, the organizers, all of them who are in the house. Kindly stand up for you to be applauded. All those who are volunteering from the Ministry of Education, the universities, among others, kindly arise. I can see them. I know some are on the trenches, still ushering in people. It will not be well not to recognize my board members, led by my chair. Kindly arise for you to be recognized. I know you'll speak after, but I need to recognize you before you speak. And then all the leadership in the House, the Vice Chancellors, you made this possible kindly, and the CEOs and the direct kindly arise, including Prof. Vase Mwajak. Kindly arise for you to be applauded. Vice Chancellors, all the leaders, directors, thank you so much for gracing this occasion. Last but not least, YSK, I know they are having a session after this. And finally, everyone who is attending this session, I want to thank you and look forward to seeing you over the next few years, maybe until I retire. Thank you. I would wish to call upon Prof. Vase Mwajak. Okay. Kindly come and do your work now. I think I've done mine.
Thank you, Prof. Another round of applause for Professor Dixon Andala, the CEO of the National Research Fund. Thank you so much, Prof, for those kind words, warm words, and the insights you shared as well from what we've learned, the learnings from the festival. I think two things that really stand out for me is one, you mentioned the word festival and not conference. Full, and there are not too many faces. Just to acknowledge, there are a few who are in the hall. However, most of them are still finalizing some of the judging because they did have their own competition. However, they are following and listening as we go along. And I know Young Scientists Kenya from our exhibition area, are you listening? Are you? Fantastic. Those of you who may be done, please make your way over. But just to confirm, have you learned more about what we can do and how you can join the research field? Are you excited for taking up research and shaping the shape of our country to something that is sustainable and high growth? And last but not least, please give a massive, massive round of applause and cheer to just let everybody know in the room that you're here with us and following along. So please, ladies and gentlemen, rest assured they are listening. Let's give them a round of applause for that as well. Thank you. And shout, shout, shout so they can hear you back. All right. Thank you. It is now my pleasure. Oh, they're still going. Very excited. And I think it's fantastic work, again, NRF and YSK combining so that we have a continuous pipeline in sustainability when it comes to research. It is now my honor to invite the chair of the National Research Fund Board. Again, another gentleman who needs no introduction, who we know very well. Please, ladies and gentlemen, including our young scientists, put your hands together for Professor Ratemo Michiaka, the chair of the National Research Fund Board.
I think clap for him too, really. Yeah. The chief guest, Frederick Ndabuki from the Ministry of Education, other dignitaries really from the embassy and high commissioners who are here today attending this closing ceremony, vice chancellors, chairpersons of councils, and also CEOs of other organizations, the young Turks, young students who have just been welcomed in, and I'm glad you really made us know that they are actually existing there. Principal secretaries of other ministries who didn't make it up here, really mine will be briefer. I think my CEO really did a fantastic job in summarizing what we have done up to this point, and I'll simply highlight where I think we really must put emphasis on, and in particular the vice chancellors who really made time to come here. I know they are busy dealing with admissions and also financial situations, but I'm so glad that they are here, and I recognize all of you in particular. In fact, one of my bosses in the University of Nairobi just appointed Professor Hutchinson. Thank you for staying long, and I do hope you stay. We give her a clap, really. We recognize her. Thank you. And all other vice chancellors, my brother here from Mount Kenya, excellent work that has been done. Let me say this, first of all, this afternoon really, just another afternoon, thank you so much, all of you, to celebrate 2024 Kenya National Research Festival, the first one, and I'm glad that my CEO has given just a rundown on what goes on from now into up close to the year 2030, when we shall just be about seeing our visions. We shall now go back as a country to find out Kenya 2030 vision. It's heavy, that we must really think about it. Let me really thank the researchers who are here, the presence of every one of you who has stayed here up to this particular minute, exhibitors, all places. Frederick, if you went round today, I hope you get a minute or two. We do have stands out there that have produced materials ready for marketing. And I think I regret that some of these materials they are produced, we actually import them into the country. All we need is do what is called beneficiation, add value, excellent packaging. They will sell better than what we get from other countries. And I do agree with my CEO that next year we shall get MCAs here telling us that bring these materials to my counties to sell. Sincerely thank the exhibitors, the posters they put in, and really think that this being the first one, we will not fail in the coming ones. And I'm really happy myself that as many of you came to this meeting as would have been the first to the last day, and I did my statistics quietly, there has been an average of about 700 to 900 odd number people attending from day one to date. So that number is close to 100 to 1,000. That's a big number, and this hall can accommodate up to about 400 or 500. I thank you those attending in, and really must say thank you so much. On my personal reflections, the youth who are here with us have been mentored to a level. Mentoring does not mean you sit down and really go through a documentation, a thesis, a dissertation of somebody. It is what you see, how you feel, how you appreciate, who you eat with, how we interact with the youths in reality. They will say, someday, some way, I want to be like Professor Maria Bukusa Onyango. You know, they're standing here alone of that person. They're thinking of a person that is talking to them. Will say, someday, I will be like Frederick Ndabuki, senior person in the Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, a section of higher education. So, let us not belittle anything we do. It is the talk you do, my brother here. Excellent. I would wish to go in a meeting and tell people, can you all laugh? And they laugh. We all laughed without being forced. And I saw everybody behind me, some of them shouting, laughing. I couldn't have done that, but you are empowered to do that, and I thank you for causing laughter. You guys can continue laughing. Let me say this. I think really you can agree with me that this has been a success to this level. We can do much more in a way of perhaps going round and making sure that we really pick up places, exhibitions that can create a lot of impact in this country. Let me turn to my attention really to the young scientists now specifically. This festival is meant for them. It is really them that can follow what we do. Seeing is believing. Touching is believing. And you know all these talks that when you see these 1,000 words, 1,000 steps, makes a difference. The key thing for us is this. Start from the youth. Let us turn our attention to these young scientists from the very beginning. I do know the budget does not allow for lots of things to be done to the young persons, but I'm glad that the young scientists in Kenya now will go long ways. You know, National Research Fund is really not known as much. I do remember when I was in NEM, and I'll tell this frankly, some of the members, some of the ministers who were appointed to the National Environment Management Authority or Ministry of Environment thought that was the smallest of ministries, and some of them said they would not want to have boots and go into the rivers to clean Nairobi River. It's not true. This day is climate change of any organization to date, and I'll tell you this for free. I used to be a member of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It's the biggest funder of climate issues in the world today. It is under environment, and it's not that small. So really, National Research Fund, as seen today, should not be belittled. It is one of the best, it's one of the greatest, and it is one that will make a difference in disallowing, not allowing, disallow persons sitting on the streets looking for positions, jobs to do. If we had, guest of honor, if we had 6 big companies manufacturing some compounds, each one taking 10,000 graduates, you won't be seeing anybody on the street. Even if we had 4 nice factories just giving out pineapple peels into clothing or doing what is called sisal into the best bags woven in the country, and you have 10,000 employees, or you had Bixa plantation, Bixa from Shimon area, really being manufactured and synthesized, and that red dye being sent to Canada instead being sent into the country. Bixa as a plant, I'm picking the most ignored of industries. So you would be having everybody in the coastal region, the G4s, employed there, packaging, labeling, doing chemistry on this Bixa. Bixa is a plant which we can actually use, or even sisal, among the best T-shirts, clothing, that can be beneficiated in something we couldn't be having so many students finishing graduation, my brother, saying, which way do I go? I have been kept, gowned, told, you do all that appertains to this certificate. And they end up coming in town, roasting maize, brushing shoes on the streets. There's no way whatsoever a person whom you have trained and awarded a degree, awarded a thinking capacity, can come home and do what they never trained for in the lowly paid society. It can't work. It is research that can buy in, take in thousands of people, and create riches to the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say a few little things, then I call anybody to continue doing the work on presentations. You know, I get kind of disturbed because I trained people in weed science and they were doing chemicals, very beautiful ones. They couldn't get good jobs to do. They went out to Tanzania, others are in UK, in Sibagaigi, others are in the old Monsanto left because we cannot sustain a company like Colgate Palmolive ourselves. If we had a Colgate Palmolive of Kenya, making traditional herbal toothpaste alone, sited in Kisumu, or sited in Kaksingri, or sited in Shimoni, a big factory away from the big cities. The train is now there exporting materials, plant species that can be used for paste making. You would absorb a number of persons that would otherwise be a pain in the neck in some places. Let me say this. Let me commend, really, scientists all over the place who came here, universities that came here, industries that came here to play and display. This is our first sitting, our first one in time. Volunteers in particular, you see, you told me they were all from Riara, but I realized the others. But I noted the ones from Riara University who actually came here volunteering without a pay. That is heavy for these young people. They have seen issues. If you volunteer, we call it pro bono. This idea, sometimes I write books, I say, I'll do your work pro bono without a pay. That is the best you can give to society. So for Riara, please, and others, can we give them a clap, really? Yeah. Thank you so much, and really, and one of the council members, one of the trustees is from Riara, plus all the other that have come as volunteers. Sir, let me say one big thing that really is ignored. You know, we shall be giving presents in about 5 minutes. And my brother here, who has been the juror, Professor Vasi Mwaja, will tell us what they did. But let me tell you why we are not kicking harder on research. You see, we have been told, and in your houses, say thank you. Say asante sana kwa leo tumekuwa nawe, enda zako vizuri kwa utaratibu. You know, we don't know how to say thank you to our researchers. I'll give you a live example, and I feel cheated a bit. You know, there are people here like medicine, doctors here in this country who have done among the best wonders in society. And I see, Professor, and what you just communicated this. There's a colleague, I know him very well, mention just one name, one example. If you get somebody who can do the separation of bodies, Siamese twins, separated within Kenya here, in this country, and those persons he separated actually exist today, and they are like 18, 19 years in these counties of ours, county in Meru. Surely, what kind of award or thank you can you give to such a scientist? Not even an EBS, not I have an EBS, but that a person really good, it's just a step forward. It's close to somebody going to the moon closer. Sir, they are not awarded. Our researchers, if you get a researcher saying indigenous vegetables increases blood cells by a certain percentage and promote them, and practically done, what kind of thank you can you give to those people? So, sir, today, in our really wise counseling with the trustees of NRF and my CEO, we shall be awarding those people. It will look small, it is not financial, it is a deep down thought of a people who have contributed to society. And I mentioned Dr. Kambuni because I know what he did, and I do know him from youth all through, who did the Siamese, which you have forgotten completely, not even on our state. Manyara can be given thousands of those who run, beautiful, everything, great. But there are variations and differences in thanking people who actually matter. So you scientists, stand strong, stand firm, you shall meaning shall, be awarded. I tried to convince my team as a chair of national research that can we spare, I mean there's no money, actually if I had my own money, I would have given these people what we shall give them today, plus some financial token in pounds and shillings and dollars and yen and rands. But we shall give them what we do. Clap for them in advance, really. So really, as I conclude, colleagues, as I conclude, let us respect, give our scientists the dues that they deserve to date. It's important that we do that. This festival is finishing. My CEO itemized what we have achieved, what we have actually achieved, not achieved. I don't want to say it like that. We have expanded our thinking, networking. I've seen my brothers from vice chancellors whom I've not seen for a long time, particularly the one from Mount Kenya, whom I see someplace, you know, you and me have a common thinking. And really celebrating this sitting here, we will have to continue doing it. CEO, you continue with or without you in the future, in the next 10 years, this should continue. And I think the key thing to start with is ensure, tell the researchers coming in place, we can even put a kit aside, $1 million bob for the best of something, 1 million shillings for the best of an innovation. That we can do actually. With those very, very many remarks, guest of honor, sir, allow me to again thank you so much really for coming. We have been free and I've spoken from deep of my heart. I'm a researcher, very reasonable at some stage when I was doing research. And I used to sit in the laboratory using gas chromatograph, those ones who are, they know, in chemistry, in the labs for hours and hours, trying to get those peaks. In pyrethrins, for example, like now, let me just give a last example. If the pyrethrum plant we have here was being synthesized for a biodegradable insecticide in the houses, instead of importing this compound, all over the place, spraying in the house, and you can't go in there, you start sneezing. The pyrethrins that we have, 6 of them, types, don't make you sneeze. You spray, they decompose, you sleep neat. We left that big giant, Nakuru, factory go down to the tubes. That employed not less than 20,000 young graduates dealing with pyrethrum from the grassroots down, bottom down, from the farm, all the way to the aerosol that we sprayed and is decomposable. Sir, if such a factory comes in, all these guys from Rift Valley, Nakuru, arguing, would be employed there doing what I'm actually saying. Research has got factories. Research creates jobs. Research brings a nation into the highest it can compete with China. They are now building roads here. Surely, what is something going on? And then you go left on a very high speed. You go right on a very high speed. All the developed nations, you don't come from a slow lane into a very fast hitting lane, then accidents. Guys, if I sit here, I can talk for 6 hours. I wish you well, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How many minutes?
Not 2 minutes, don't worry about it. Please, another round of applause for Professor Ratemo Michieka. Every time Prof speaks, I really wish I was one of his students and I had a chance to go undergraduate, postgraduate through him, because it really does inspire with everything he says. Thank you so much, Prof, for reminding us that research can create jobs and wealth and will make us competitive on a global scale, and for acknowledging all the people who have made this festival a success. I think it means a lot when you can actually point people and mention volunteers, students, staff, partners for coming together. I think I really want to take home that we really need to acknowledge our researchers and thank them appropriately. And in that light, please give another cheer and a round of applause for the 1 million shillings that hopefully will come as a future award. A round of applause for that. And as I was leaving, Prof said, if we cheer loud enough, it might be 2 million. So just maybe another round of applause for possibly 2 million shillings award. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to start and head into the award-giving part of our program. I'm going to invite a gentleman who will guide us through that, but before I do that, can we all just take one big deep breath together? Hold it and out. Blow it out. I need to hear. Thank you so much. Again, one more time. In and out. Again, this is all to calm the nerves and to get us into the right frame of mind for the awards that we are going to give even. And the person who is going to lead us through this next section is the editor-in-chief of the Kenya National Academy of Sciences. He has been recognized as a fellow by the International Science Council. He was the last chairman and the last chairman of the National Council of Science and the first chairman of NACOSTI. He bridged that transition. And of course, we all know NACOSTI is the National Commission of Science, Technology and Innovation, a parent to Kenya and NRF as well. In this particular context, with his over 40 years of research, older than many of us in the audience today, he is the chairman of the NORA Award. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together with a loud round of applause for Professor Vasi Mwaja to take us through the awards section. Karibu, Prof.
Well, today I think we are a little bit more than yesterday, because people are coming for the awards, which is a special moment. On behalf of NRF, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this inaugural, I call it inaugural, NORA Awards. This is the future for science in Kenya. Before we announce who the winners, everybody was a winner. I would like, for the benefit of those who did not apply for the awards, I want to highlight exactly what the process that took place. Today we'll be awarding the presentations in the posters. We are under 5 entries. Of the 5 entries, we have chosen 3 that are going to be awarded. And the posters is part of the communication processes. If you are here when the Hand of Public Service was opening this particular research week, he did mention that we, as scientists, one of the weaknesses that we got, we don't communicate what we find. We keep it to ourselves. So basically, when you look at those posters, they're very innovative and they communicate the messages. So we're going to have the posters, the winners. Everybody was a winner, but the ones who will get the certificate of the award today, we recognize two, including the others. Coming to the National Outstanding Research Awards, a call was made to all researchers in Kenya who would wish to be considered for this award. The award is in various criteria. We had 5 different criteria. We have the overall researcher winner, a Kenyan researcher with 5 years and above of research experience. We had also a category to recognize the role. I'm sure Professor Ngaira is here, she'll be happy. We had women researcher component. Again, looking at the female researchers with 5 years and above of research experience. We also recognize the importance of succession, younger researchers. A Kenyan researcher who will be turning 40 next week. If you have already turned 40, you're no longer younger. You fall there. So we're in that category for younger researchers. We also went further to recognize TVET, technical and vocational education. We realized that most of the innovations are going to come from that team. We want to make sure that we recognize the people who are doing some work with some discoveries within that framework. Last but not least, we are in a category for the persons with disability researchers. We are saying that the people must be registered with the National Council for persons with disability. Those 5 categories were competing among themselves. I call them among themselves. Those who are applying for the senior, those who are applying for women, they were competing among themselves. Within those categories, we had 3 major areas: the biological sciences, including the medicals and botanies, agriculture, and all that aspects of technology within that framework, and then innovations. We are in the physical sciences, which are looking basically to the engineering, mathematics, all physical sciences, physics, chemistry. Then we had humanities and social sciences, which is looking at aspects of economics, human behavior, including running, if possible, to win a gold medal. Of this, we had 28 applicants on the overall researcher, 17 applicants for the women researchers, 28 applicants for the young researchers. Can you see 28 overall and 28 young people? I see succession there. I'm impressed. On the technical, we had 14 technical and vocational education, we had 14 applicants, and the persons with disability, we had 3, giving us 90 applicants. I pause here for a minute because I know you wonder, how come the whole country, after 600-700 of us spent a week here, only 90 applied? I think we need to recast in future to encourage more, and I'm sure this being the inaugural one will encourage others to see how beautiful it is. That million the chair has promised might even, Professor Ndala, we may have to expand the capacity. Everybody will be now applying. With 1 million sitting there, it's an attraction. The selection process was, I would call it an open process. It's a process that anybody can go in and see what was done. We are in a 3-step process to evaluate the applicants on the basis of those categories as I put them on those groups. Step 1 was done as looking at completeness of your application. And I'm sure that our QA boss will understand that is the way it looks, as you cannot go to the university unless you're passed for the exams. We on the academic level was one of the indicators, experience, publications on particular impact journals, books and book chapters written, conferences attended, resources mobilized, and I'm sure this morning when we were discussing about resources, we talked about that, patents, and then you gave us a brief of your research work to tell us how your research is impactful. You tell us. This part was the screening process, which was a total of 70%, and this was done to select 3 top for each category. On the basis of 70%, the jury which was again appointed by National Research Fund in consultation with the institutions. The criteria for the jurors was independence. There was no interference if they were given the job, and they came from within the institutions in the country. Representatives from universities, including Commission for University Education, because most of the applicants are our people. The universities themselves, private sector, Kenya, and also it was chaired by the ourselves, Kenya National Academy of Sciences. Sorry, there was also our Department of the Higher Education, and the RST as part of the team. The process, this team was now to reevaluate, to look at the 3 top in each category, and that percent which came out of that was to be on the basis of the impact. We looked at the impact of your research, short, medium, and long term. Then we looked at the research communication. How far over the years of your research, what impact do you have in the areas that you've been working on? Policy engagement, the consumer of research in most cases to inform policy where need be. We explored, because of Gen Z, we wanted to see how well our researchers in aspects of social media. Social media was an indicator that you are communicating with all different people. And finally, we also looked at whether you're working as in the silos, the multidisciplinary, and the collaboration aspects. This is what the jurors were looking at to look for that percent so that you make 100%. The cutoff points which were put in by the jurors before we started evaluating was 70%. To be an outstanding, you must have received 70% and above of the marks. And below that, the other 2 will be recognized as part of the players. Before I read that, then jurors went further. And I think the chair of NRF is alluding to that. Even though we requested NRF to allow us the latitude to come up with the lifetime. The reason is the idea is that the chair is going to retire soon, and I'm following him very slowly so that we don't want to be left. We don't want to be left out. We want to make sure that something is happening. Lifetime Research Award, we discussed it as jurors in consultation with the NRF, and we're given them latitude to do our job. The job for the jurors was to look at, we opened ourselves, said, who is this person? This is the first one. We didn't make a call. We look around. I've been around in this space for 40 years, so I think I can see in 40 years of my life through the space. So the jurors came up with an aspect looking at we wanted 3 renowned Kenyans whom we wanted to recognize for the work they have done this far, to encourage others so that we can follow suit. So we again, through that process, we took 2 days to explore what these people have done, and we came up with 3 awardees for the Lifetime Award, which we are going to present to you this afternoon. That was the process. And now I am calling about the Secretariat to come close to me, because now I'm going to unveil who the winners are. And very quickly, I'm going to kindly request the CEO to come and open for me, bring the certificates. My responsibility is very little, just calling, like I'm graduating them. We are going to start with the poster, award of the poster session. Second runner-up for the poster, Chandrak Kibet. Chandrak Kibet, please come.
Chandrak Kibet, are you in the room?
First runner-up is Caroline Bakasa. Is Caroline in the room?
Round of applause. You can see Caroline is here. Caroline, Karibu, welcome to the stage to receive your award. The first runner-up.
And the best poster goes to Ryan Musumba Award.
Ryan Musumba, you are in the room. I think some of the recipients of our best award are still at the posters.
We are now moving to the next stage, awarding certificate recognition to Special Recognition Award for the National Standing Researchers. The first recipient is Dr. Christopher Blanda Aura, who is around. This category of recognition goes for the biological sciences, technology and innovation for the national standing. The next one is Professor Francis Maruki Mutuku.
Round of applause for Professor Francis.
The next category is the physical sciences, technology and innovation. We have Professor Christopher Maina Mreithi. The next recipient is Professor Josephat Matasio.
Professor Josephat.
On the social sciences, we have Dr. Joyce Wangari Kikandi.
Round of applause for Dr. Joyce Kikandi.
fly over the rainbow, so high. My dream is to fly
Biological sciences again for women. We've got Dr. Justin Wanjiko Kunjiri of Embu University.
Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. There's a party going on right here, and celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on, celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. It's your
A round of applause for Professor Dr. Lydia Olaka.
Special recognition for Biological Sciences Technology women, Dr. Veronica King of Carrot and Here we have now women in research of social sciences. Special recognition for Professor Christian Mulongo Mutenga, Egerton University. Last but not least, in that category, we have again social sciences women. Dr. Gladys Moran Maria Nyachiro of Multistreaming University. And I'm kindly asking the chair, Professor Micheka, the chair of NIF, to award it to young people. Appreciation for the young people. We are now starting for young researchers, biological sciences, technology, innovation. The first award goes to Young Kantaro Biological Sciences. Researcher, Physical Sciences. Dr. Frank Oderi Masese of University of Yanga.
Round of applause for Dr. Frank Masese.
Special Recognition Award, Young Scientist, Physical Sciences, Technology Innovation, Dr. David Wafuro Wekesa of Multistreaming University.
Round of applause for Dr. Wekesa.
Young Research Award, Special Recognition Award, Young Scientist, Dr. Victor Obiambo Stuku of Kaimosi University. Researcher of Social Sciences. Special recognition goes to Dr. Socrates Railo Magina, University.
Round of applause to Dr. Socrates Magina. For ensuring that there is full recognition for Dr. Magine.
We now come to the TVET section, Biological Sciences, Stephen Obiambo Nyango of Siaya Institute of Technology, Biological Sciences, TVET Research. Social Sciences, TVET Researcher, George Omondi Ojoin of Siaya Technology Institute. Social Sciences, TVET Researcher, Charles Lumuli Nyongesa, Kisiwa Technical. Social Sciences, TVET Researcher, Dr. Bigini Wanjiru, honor to award the outstanding awards. We really appreciate if you can do that for us.
Let's give another round of applause to Professor Atemo, and let's welcome our chief guest, Mr. As they all stand and we prepare for the overall outstanding awardees.
Yeah.
I repeat, the vice chancellors and even members of staff from that institution should really come and give moral support to their heroes who are receiving, even if it is miniature of any kind, do support them. Sir, that is what we lack. Simple appreciation of a kind.
Thank you very much, sir. We are now going to present the awards for Outstanding Research Award winners. We got 5 of them, and they are as follows. The National Outstanding Research Award in Biological Sciences, Technology, and Innovation goes to Professor Mary Abukusa Onyango of Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology.
A massive round of applause for Professor Mary Abukusa Onyango.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Outstanding achievement, Prof.
Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon like a ghost face. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy all alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here comes that news talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy all alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. The love is too bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. The love is too bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness.
Supported, of course, by other members from that institute. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause again as he makes his way to his seat.
5 in the world by NIH. And though I have injured my back, I can go to bed and rest, knowing very well the baton has already been passed to me.
Fantastic. Round of applause for Dr. Christine Wayuga Musiemi. Round of applause. Fantastic work.
Thank you very much to NRF and my country, Kenya, for giving me this outstanding researcher award in the area of social sciences. And to my mentor and my other mentors, my dad, thank you very much. And I'm excited and happy to be part of this celebration. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, in this category of Outstanding Research Award, the TVET Outstanding Research Award, Physical Sciences, goes to Engineer Agri Shisiali of Technical University of Mombasa, TVET section.
Round of applause for Engineer Agri Shisiali.
Thank you very much, awardees. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are at the point where we are going to award the Lifetime Research Awardees. Guests of honor, give me a few minutes so that I can do a bit of citation on these awardees. Where are you still there? I mean, I'll just read them and then you can continue. We have 3 Lifetime Awardees for this event. The first goes to Professor Ruth Duarte. Professor Ruth Duarte, in honor of applause, in recognition of a distinguished and transformative career in medical research. Professor Duarte stands as a beacon of excellence in the fields of pediatrics and public health. Her pioneering research on the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV has not only shaped the course of healthcare in Kenya, but also has set a global standard for best practices in the management of HIV/AIDS. Professor Duarte's contribution extends beyond the confines of academia at the University of Nairobi. Her work has been instrumental in the formulation of national and international health policies, directly influencing the well-being of millions of people worldwide. Attending at the University of Nairobi, I can see the Vice Chancellor is very excited because she's a winner today. Not only as a professor of public health has been marked with the relentless pursuit of knowledge, innovation, and mentorship. I was impressed when I looked at your H index. Under the guidance, the next generation of medical professionals has been trained to uphold the high standards of medical research and practice. Professor Duarte has played a pivotal role in numerous international collaborations advancing research that spans from clinical trials to community health initiatives, and her leadership in key advisory roles, such as her service on the International Monitoring Board of Polio, which we have eradicated globally, underscores our impact on global health strategies. Professor Duarte's dedication to improving health outcomes in vulnerable populations is reflected in our extensive